and Pokemon. You'll have to forgive me. I need to adjust the sound. It should sound fine to you. But the other day I was recording something in this setup and my hand just went and slipped entirely across all the knobs, changing all the levels. And I don't remember exactly what it was set at. I'm pretty sure the game input is set to a 3 or a 4, somewhere in there. But I could be wrong. Closer to a 3 than it was a 4. All right, I left myself in a great spot. Here we are back again. What can you get from me? Well, according to my lovely sticky notes here, the component to fill, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing correctly. That will give me egg power. Now, what else was I doing? I don't remember entirely. I definitely remember that we were doing something. Skip it, skip it, skip it. Oh, we got the colossal. Oh, I remember now. Which means we got a bunch of eggs. We don't feed the eggs. Eagerly await your next visit. Did I just ask if whether or not why we don't feed the eggs? That's silly. Here we go. So with the colossal, boom. Well, this is going to speed up this process. I'm glad about that. Hooray. Let's get all these eggs hatched. In addition to bumping all the levels and hopefully still doing as good of a job as ever, let's adjust the mic. I think we can put it slightly more facing here, but offset so it doesn't pick up the breathing. The breathing. All right, we're going to do this. As I was starting to say, oh, I forgot to transfer stuff out of here, didn't I? No, wait. I did. I just didn't organize anything. That's fine. Should we go through there? Maybe we should. It's too bad it's based on speed and the number of steps and I have to sprint. Because it actually wouldn't be too bad to have like a leisurely walk. Oh well. As I started to say twice now, since last recording, I have a different chair. Now, why did that one hatch first? Strange. I went to the thrift store when I went, you know, I'm doing these recordings, and it only took 30, so, and then some original, 40, 50. We got some going only on Patreon, so there's probably 15 of those, plus more, maybe 100? Maybe 100 longer form videos. I mean, sometimes it's not too bad when I would sit down and record in this area, and I would be more upright and doing things, and not be sitting for hours and hours and hours, which is another thing. But I am, because I'm playing games for hours and hours and hours. And that is fine. But that little chair that I had was the cheapest possible chair that I removed the back and lost the back, so it was just a stool. I need a back to a chair. So I just went to the thrift store and picked up the cheapest thing. Actually, not the cheapest thing. The cheapest thing was like a $20 situation. Just, I feel like how much I used to pay for one from big box store. Maybe it wasn't 20. Maybe it was more like 25 and 50 was the split between the real basic plank of wood with a seat cushion and then one that had like arms and a higher back. All terrible. I could make a whole video on chairs, and you know what? I probably will. So we shouldn't talk about that right now. What we should do is adjust the green screen, which is called a chroma, and take it down a little bit. There we go. I could see it was flickering where my mic was, and that was bothering me. I just needed to remove the green that's behind me to make it more copacetic. That's not the right word. Let's see here. So we're hatching eggs. We have a new chair. so we can go for longer without hurting my back. Because I realized, and I'm sure it's been noticeable in... did that thing pop up with a question mark because my egg hatched? Interesting. I'm sure I've talked about it in multiple videos at this point, one way or another, where it's like, oh, my back after so long of recording because I wind up really hunched over. That's really bad. You gotta take care of your back. So I am. Hi, duck. Running along the water. They don't hatch in the air, though. There's no way, so that shouldn't count. Just make sure we walk. Or run, I guess. I'm glad they moved away from the step-based stuff in some things. They clearly still did it here. But, like, the eggs in the basket, breeding the eggs, is not based on steps, which is good, as we did last time. I do remember that. There's another one. There we go. That's good. We're really hatching through. This was a smart plan with the Colossal. Will it still be a smart when it comes to battling? Oh no. I could try to... It's too bad there's not like a shortcut to the boxes button. I don't think that's been in any game, is it? Where's down on the D-pad? Nope, can't do that. Where's right on the D-pad? Nope, don't need that. Where's left on the D-pad? Definitely don't need that. Why does this one take so long? Stop. Up on the D-pad. Nope. Camera again? What, down and up? Okay. Yeah, no. I don't think it remembers. I think it opens up to the bag, and I don't think it has a way to change. So, it is what it is. That's fine. No. And we're off. Yeah, just looking over my notes there, making sure I understand everything that I wrote myself down. We are so very close to the end of this. $33 episodes, I think. I believe this is our 33rd. Once we started the new goal, which I want to say there were what? There were, I think, 12 of the original, or 13. The first original goal I set up for was 13. Then I had, was it 1 or 2, or maybe 3 that were entirely different and not really named? Because I think there was What's the Plan Now? And then I talked about what I did on the DS in order to catch some of the forms that I had missed from Sun and Moon. I had to do that. And then I started the new goal. I don't remember if the numbering started there or if I started over again, though. That's the thing. I was wondering if we've hit 50 yet. In total, videos that I have made about Pokemon specifically. Which really, the one that contained 0 gameplay, but started all of this, was because I was riding the exercise bike. And I went, well, I need something to do. And so I was playing Pokemon games to get through all that. I'm still riding the exercise bike, and I still need something to do, but I'm playing all the Legend of Zelda games to let you in on a sneak peek of what I'll be doing in the future. Because there will be a video about it. I want to talk about... I missed so many of them that I wanted to play them all. And I have now. No, I haven't. What? I am now doing that. I'm more than halfway through. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to wrap up Pokemon as quickly as I can. Because the Switch needs to leave this recording area and go to where the exercise bike is. So I can play through a game. And yes, I could bring it back and forth. But if I have to sit down every week or 2 or 3... Oh, cool. We're just going to look beneath the ground. Every couple of weeks or maybe once a month, I sit down and record a couple Pokemon. It's an extra hassle to come and do that and have to go get the Switch first. Not a fan. Because I forget. I won't remember until I sit down, I turn on everything, get ready to record, and then I realize, oh, I don't have the Switch because I left it in the other room. And then I have to extract myself from the recording setup behind the table, and it's not exactly... It's not really a good in and out situation. It's a kind of, once you get yourself in there, settle in. And I'll forget, and then I'll get frustrated, and I just don't want to do that. So if we could get done, we only have 2 left. We've only had 2 left for quite a while, I feel like. But there's just 2 Pokemon left. These will be the final 2. Both of the ones we're hatching right now. Eventually, we'll get the form. It'll just depend on how long it'll take. But if we could get done soon, I could call it a break for the foreseeable future. Why did I do that? I say that, and I do mean it. But what would actually happen is the Switch would move out. It would be used for Exercise Bike. Then it would get used for Legend of Zelda. I mean, like, it would get used for Legend of Zelda on the Exercise Bike. It might get used for Legend of Zelda when the new one comes out, unless I make that part of the... I haven't decided yet. There's a Pokemon that's going to come out in 2025? Months from now. Even though it's months from now when I record this by the time anyone is watching, because I'm ahead of schedule. But I could take a break until then. I could take a break until... And you know, no, I think they specifically said they didn't want to cut the announcement. They technically have not announced a new Switch console. At this point in time, by the time I'm recording it. By the time you're watching it, you might already know of one. Whatever it's going to be called. Switch 2 or... You never know with Nintendo. The Switch U. Or the Super Switch. I don't think they're going to follow any of their old naming schemes. Could, though. That'd be cool. But, yes. From my understanding, a sequel to the Switch that will be backwards compatible, which I'm looking forward to. I definitely... We haven't had a Switch console in quite a while, so a new one is... I'm ready for it. The Switch was so good when it came out. Like, it's not really... I still am playing it. Look at what we're doing right now. It might not be 4K 60 like my Xbox is. I'd like to be playing my Xbox in 4K 120. But I don't have a TV that'll do 120 hertz, and as it turns out, they're expensive. I was pricing one of those the other day. Trying to think of maybe one day. Not gonna happen anytime soon. But yeah, by the time this comes out, there's a chance that they've already announced it. I don't know how far out they want to do that or how far they're waiting. Because it could happen soon. It could happen anytime. It'd be great if it did. But yeah, I know of those current games that are coming out for the Switch. The new Legend of Zelda, which is a sequel, it's a new one set in an old style. Well, no, a remaster of an old game, Link's Awakening. And I forget what the new one is called, but you'll actually play as Zelda for the first time, for the majority of the game, I think. Or for all of it, I don't know. I don't know much about it. I go into... I treat everything pretty much the same way in the fact that I try to keep myself from knowing too much. When did I hatch 2? Am I not paying attention? Michael, come on. But I'm looking forward to that. That's really the point. I'm kind of dating all of this by talking about things that haven't happened yet and will be happening soon. But that's what's on my mind currently. that next Pokemon game. I've talked about before, so I don't really want to go into it too much because I don't know what it's going to be. I know it's going to be set in the X and Y, but it'll be more like the Legends Arceus. And I'm looking forward to that. That will be the next thing. I will play that on my own. But then we'll be done until they put out another one. I'll be able to take a break from Pokemon for a significant chunk of time. Which is how it should be, in my opinion, for me. Let me put it that way. I am great with Pokemon. It's fun in bursts. And then a time break, and then another burst. Like when I was growing up and playing the games. Playing them back to back to back. Ooh. I don't really recommend it. Unless you are that... If Pokemon is your game, and you can play it, any of them, at any time, by all means. That's not me. Which is why I'm ready to be done with this. But I said, oh no, I'm going to make it my goal to get as many Pokemon as I can. I'm going to complete the Pokedex, which seemed doable, mostly. And then the goalpost changed to become, well, they've added the forms. I could do that. I could bring people along for that journey. And here we are. More than a year later, for sure. It's been a while. Wait, has it been? It's definitely more than a year. Is it coming up on 2 years? Because it didn't... Well, no, because I did it and I didn't immediately start. And it hasn't been weekly. And then there was a break for a while because I hit my goal. And then they did the... That's why, even though... Yeah, because my original goal was to play through and wrap up all the games before the newest one had come out, before this came out, Scarlet and Violet, which was a couple years ago at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for a break. I'm definitely ready to be done with this goal. To have completed it as best we can. Because of course that's the depressing part, isn't it? Is that it actually won't be 100%. There is no way possible for me to get 100% because I did not fly across the world and go to Japan for the events to get the exclusive Pikachu and all the hats or whatever it was, and all the various event exclusives that maybe they'll re-release them someday. That's the best hope, is that maybe there will be an event where they'll be like, here, catch up on the ones you missed, and it would be possible at that point. Or maybe they would add something to the Pokemon Home, which is where I put all of them in. I'm looking at the collection there. That would allow me to look at filter them out by ones that aren't really gettable. But, you know, there's that. There's regional exclusives. There's ones that just aren't gonna happen. So we'll get as close as we can, and then I'll call it done. And we are very close to that goal, which is nice. Dunsparce and Tandemaus. Nope. I wonder if we can get them all hatched. No. We're not going to get them all hatched in one episode. I mean, they're going quick, which is great. That Colossal, this is going much faster than it was. I wish I'd been doing this the whole time. But we learn as we go. Sometimes I don't think to look stuff up and learn about it until after. With about 10 minutes left here today, I've done a page and change. I don't think I'll get to 2 full pages. That just means we'll finish it up the next time. I wonder if there's a way to skip the egg hatching. Come on, Scarlet. Skip, egg, hatch. Breeding is infuriating in this game. Yeah. So I guess no, since that wasn't the first thing. Nope, didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. Well, we've got duns. Whoops. Wouldn't it be great if duns was the one? Duns was the ones. No, you can't skip it. They patched it out. Apparently, there may have been a way to do it before. Used to be an option. Can't do that. Skip it. Okay. Nope. Seems like the answer is no. We are watching. It's quick enough, but it is a lengthy process. Yep. I wonder if we just ran in circles. That would get tiring. For sure. It would be quite annoying. So we don't want to do that. Probably get sick. Get off the road. Whoa. Remember how long it took to get the Taurus? That one felt like a long time too. But we're done now. Don't have to worry about that one anymore. Yeah, leave me alone. Can't you see what's happening here? It's the miracle of life. Get. Just put me away. Get me away from you. Nope, that's not. Just need to move this around and continue. Get away. Don't need you anymore. Which one do you think will be first? Statistically. No, mathematically they have an equal chance. It seems to be. I actually haven't tried looking to calculate what the odds are of getting each of these. I mean, looking at it right now, we have more Dunsparce on that tab. They look about even there, don't they? I'm not counting. That takes too long. And I wouldn't know what to do with that data anyway. I mean, actually, if I counted 100 of them, and I just totaled the two of them, that's an easy percentage. I'd be able to do that. But that's a sample size of 1, isn't it? So that doesn't seem proper. I'm pretty sure that you have to do more than that in order to get a true average of our chance to get one as opposed to another one. But the point of that was going to be to try to figure out which one, and it still doesn't, like, even you could say mathematically, even if for some reason Tandemaus was so much more, if it had a significant... Why'd my light turn out? I'm gonna have to look at that. After. No, what's happening? Oh, an egg is hatching. That's what's happening. Of course that's what's happening. I hope my light didn't just burn out. That was not a cheap light. I got it around the same time. No, I got slightly after the other two big lights that are currently going. But it hasn't been used all that much. I mean, every time it's recording, but... And away we go. I'll take that. Does swimming count? It could hatch on a little raft thing, but... Oh, nope. No, okay. You like a mirror? The water reflections. That's actually cool. Okay. Oh, you know what? You can hatch an egg on the water. Neat. There's too many Pokemon here to get in the way, but it's cool to know that that's possible. Nope. I wonder... Can I go from top to bottom by pressing up? I wonder if it still counts, like, it should say where they're found. I'm thinking about the older games. The ones that I would have done the most breeding in was Ruby and Sapphire. That's the game I played the most out of all of them. Actually, what do you think it is now? Because I would always say that, because I put, you know, hundreds of hours into that game in order to complete the Pokedex. But at this point now, it might... it's hard to say if that's rivaled or not. There was no time counter. This is memory, so it's hazy. And it's imperfect. Definitely more than 100 hours, for sure. There was a time counter. What am I talking about? But it's long gone. My game is unfortunately no longer there on the cartridge. I don't even remember where the cartridge is. I mean, it would be with my other ones. But I know that my original save game with the Pokedex completed is gone. But no, I don't. This one would have to rival it. This one's over 100 hours. But I don't think it's close enough yet at this point. And it probably won't ever get there. Unless they... this is the most expansive, biggest game that they put in. And I've obviously spent the most time in it doing all of this. Thankfully, it's tracked. And I can look at it, but I still don't think... I mean, just judging on how I played games back then. Sun up to sundown sometimes. Well, the battery life wasn't that great on the SP. So... there was a fair amount of time of playing it until the battery died and then taking it to charge. Interesting. I had not considered that. Whether or not this is the one that I've put the most time into. Or if Ruby is still the one. It may be, but I bet it's getting close. It just took, like, most of a summer. A couple hours every day, probably. Maybe not every day, but most days. Couple days a week playing for several hours for the entirety of a summer, trying to catch 200-300 hours at a minimum. I think that is me underestimating. It could definitely be more. Go away. Get out of my face and don't. No fight. No fight. Goodbye. Well, we are almost at time. One, maybe two more. See what we can do in the next minute. How many can we hatch? Why does this take so long? Box and a half. Maybe not quite so much. I think I started talking about how it tells you where you first met the Pokemon, and it would tell you what route you were on. And I don't know if it would tell you the town that you were in. If you hatched it from an egg in a town, that would be the only way that you'd be like, oh, you met in this town. I don't remember if it would do that or not. Back in Ruby would have been the one that I spent the most time breeding in. And now I'm guessing there's no reason why it couldn't tell you exactly where you were. So if I was in a town here, it would go, oh, first met in such and such town. Hey, that's 30 minutes. That's it for this week. We hatched a good amount, more than a box. Box and change for sure. Not quite 1.5 because there's still room there, but not as much next time. Next week, we'll get to evolving. Hooray! Different. See you guys then.